Hey everyone, how are you doing today? Welcome to my bedroom and my currently empty shelves. I got this idea for this video from Kevin from Much Ado About Books. Basically, what I'm going to do with you today is go through my entire physical TBR. I'm going to do my ebooks and audiobooks as a separate video. And the reason my shelves are empty is because obviously if my shelf was full, you'd be able to see all the books. So there's no point in me going through them. So what I've done is I've pulled them all off, and then as I go through them, I'll just add them onto the shelves. Basically what I want to do is just go through them all, and then maybe this time next year, go back through that video and actually look at whether I did read them, if I still need to read them, and whether they were unhauled. And I just thought it'd be a nice little fun thing to do next year, to be like, so have I actually read my TBR? Which I can already say is going to be a no. And I want to kickstart this with my non-fiction. So first up we have this, The Secrets of the Universe in 100 Symbols. So I'm not going to go through and tell you what every book is about, because we would be here for about 6 hours. So I'm just going to show you 100 Secrets of the Universe in 100 Symbols. There's the Encyclopedia of Mythology that I've been slowly chunking my way through. Vikings by Neil Oliver, which I've been using to research for my novel. Prisoners of Geography by Tim Marshall, which I've read bits of and I've been using in my lessons when I teach geography. Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race. This is one that I want to try and prioritise, by Rennie Edo-Lodge. And then one that I won't be starting until next year, because I want to start it on sort of January the 1st, which is Wonderland by Brett Westwood and Stephen Moss, which is every day it shows a different part of British wildlife and what's going on. And it's like a little snippet every day of that thing. So I'm going to start that on January and do like a every day start my day by reading this. That is my non-fiction. Next up we have the category of other, as I call it. I categorise my books based off my heroic TBR game. So my books are separated into fantasy, sci-fi, contemporary, graphic novel, etc. And then anything that doesn't fit into those categories I just consider as other. So that's things like thrillers, mystery, horror, historical, classic, anything like that. And to kickstart that we have All Our Hidden Gifts by Caroline O'Donoghue, The Ninth Child by Sally Magnuson, Five Little Liars by Amanda K. Morgan, Here There Are Monsters by Amanda Berube, Circus of Wonders by Elizabeth McNeil, and I think this is the Waterstones edition, and it is stunning. I love it. It's so pretty, and yeah, this one's historical. And then I have this one I've owned since I was a little girl, and I've never actually read it. I know, I'm bad. But it's the Complete Illustrated Lewis Carroll, and it's got all of his works in there, all of the verses. And as it says, it has also got illustrations, though they are not very... For a book that's marketed as illustrated, it's not very heavily illustrated. So this one's going to take a while to get through. Next category is contemporary. This is like my second biggest pile, and for this we have The Princess and the Fangirl, which is book 2 in Once Upon a Con by Ashley Poston, Loveless by Alice Oseman, Afterlove by Tanya Byrne, Resistance is Futile by Jenny T. Colgan, Harley in the Sky by Akemi Dawn Brown, The Black Kids by Christina Hammonds Reed. Got an arc of Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry by Joya Goffney. I got this in a giveaway last year, so I actually got the arc 6 months after the actual book came out. So that's why I haven't read this arc yet. The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Abtali. Felix Ever After by Kaysen Calendar, and I love this edition. I love the designs and patterns all on it. Full Disclosure by Cameron Garrett. And then finally in this category we have The Death of Vivek Oji by Akwaeke Emezi. The next section we have my sci-fi, And actually I do own more sci-fi than this. It's just that there's another section of books in my little trolley that we'll be seeing in a bit, and a lot of my sci-fi is in there. So for this one I have The Supreme Light by Geraldine McCaughrean. We have The Stars Never Rise by Rachel Vincent, which is an ex-library book that I got. Wilder Girls by Rory Power, which I'm kind of unsure about. I've heard very mixed things about this, but I will eventually get to it. And then I have the book 2 in the Sci series, which is Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman, not Neil Gaiman, as I was about to say. I do have the first one, but that'll be coming up in a little while. That is my sci-fis. And then we find for this shelf, we get on to the fantasies, and there is like 2 huge piles next to me. So these also include like urban fantasy and paranormal, so there'll be things like My Nalini Sings, and as well as your sort of typical fantasies. So there's like a mixture of magical realism, high fantasy, contemporary, urban fantasy, paranormal, a little bit of a mix. So starting off, I've got a few like smaller books. So I've got 2 sets of novellas. One is Nalini Singh Angel Flight, which are little novellas set in the Guild Hunter world. And then we also have Must Love Hellhounds, which is an anthology by 4 different like writers who've all written sort of novellas set in various worlds in their books. And this also has a Nalini Singh in there that also features in here. But I've got these 2. I then have Wolf Rain by Nalini Singh, Honoured Enemy, Legends of the Rift War by Raymond E. Feist and William Forshton, The Innocent Mage and The Awakened Mage by Karen Miller. Got book 2 in the Nightmareverse by L.L. McKinney, which is A Dream So Dark, The Lost City by Amanda Hocking, Into the Crooked Place by Alexandra Christo, Beasts of Prey by Ayana Gray, Fallen Kingdoms book 1 by Morgan Rhodes, Graceling by Kristen Kishore, and then Terry Pratchett, Witches Abroad. And I also have book 4, which is Lords and Ladies, also in that series, and that's the final of the Witches books. V. Schwab with The Dark Vault, and as you guys know, I absolutely love V. Schwab. 3 Dark Crowns by Kendara Blake, Raybearer by Jordan Ifweko. I then have an anthology of like dark retellings by popular authors. So this is called Cursed, and it's edited by Marie O'Regan and Paul Kane. I then have a collection of short stories that one of my friends is actually published in, and that's The Forgotten and the Fantastical 3. This is another one that features like fairy tales and retellings. We then have a couple of Nalinis. There's only a couple because most of them are in storage, but these are for rereads. I have read all of my Nalinis. I just want to reread them, hence why they're on the TBR. So we have Allegiance of Honour and Shards of Hope from the Psy-Changeling series. And then I have another reread, which is Angelfall by Susan E. And then we have a self-published indie book, and it's Marauder by L.L. McNeil. And then we have the final stack. We have The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert, Malice by Heather Walter, Bone Spindle by Leslie Vedder. This one only came out a few weeks ago. Realmbreaker by Victoria Aveyard, Boneless Mercies by April Genevieve Chitolki, and Nalini Singh that I missed, which is Last Guard. That was her latest in the Psy-Changeling, so that one only came out last year. Sophia, Princess Among Beasts by James Patterson with Emily Raymond, Wrath of the Dawn by Renee Adier, House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune, The Icy Pirates by Frida Nilsson, Those Above by Daniel Polanski, Shadows on the Moon by Zoe Marriott, Bright and Pale by Jessica Rubinkovsky, Master of One by Jada Jones and Danny Bennett, Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan. And then the final books are Blackberry Blue and Other Fairy Tales by Jamila Gavin, The Grim Company by Luke Skull. And then finally, the last book for this little bit is Legendborn by Tracy Dion, which is a reread. I want to reread this before I get the sequel. Okay, so next is, I'm going to swing you guys, I want to pick you up and show you. Next is this stack here, my TBR cart. And I have various things on here. So the first one are on my TBR for this month. So I've got Ocean Light by Nalini Singh and Richard Osman's The Thursday Murder Club. I have those to read this month. Then books that I have already started this year and need to finish. So we have Our Violent Ends by Chloe Gong, The Mermaid by Christina Henry, Flash Fire by TJ Klune, which is book 2 in the Extraordinary series, Best Love Poems, which is a collection that has been edited by Neil Phillip and has loads of beautiful illustrations in it, and Thorn by Insa Kanani, which is the Waterstone Special Edition. I then have 3 buddy reads currently put aside for this year. So we have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and The Gilded Cage by Lynette Nonny, and The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, which I am hoping to read with Chelsea Zhao at some point. And then have library books, which again I am only going to go through quickly because I might do a separate video going through like my library books. So I have a graphic novel called Lost Tales by Adam Murphy, Ben Aronovich, Rivers of London, The Snow Song by Sally Gardner, The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers, A Man Called Uwe by Frederick Backman, Stepsister by Jennifer Donnelly, and Girls with Sharp Sticks by Suzanne Young. And then the final bit for the physical TBR are, if you remember back in December, it was either in December or the start of this year, I did a video that was 22 in 22, so I picked out 22 books that I really wanted to get to this year. Some of them I have actually read, so later on this year you will see my ratings and things. However, they also have their own shelf, so I'm just going to very quickly go through these because obviously you've already seen these, you've seen that video, I'll link it above if you want to get a bit more insight. But we have Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, Red Rising by Pierce Brown, The 5th Season by N.K. Jemisin, Maggie Stiefvater's The Raven Boys, Scythe by Neil Schusterman, Poison Study by Maria V. Schneider, Sky in the Deep by Adrian Young, Queen of Vaults, which is the final book in the Shadow Game series by Amanda Foody, You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson, Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim, and finally Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. Mew. Sorry, can't help it. So that is my physical TBR. These are my physical books. Let me know in the comments. There's obviously a fair few here, but I'm intrigued to know in the comments, have you read many of these? And if you have read any of these, which ones did you say were absolutely amazing? Did you give 5 stars? Do you think there's any on here in particular that you think I will absolutely love, or that you think I need to prioritise getting to because, you know, I need to catch up and get on with it? So yeah, let me know in the comments your thoughts, and I hope you enjoyed that tour of all my physical books, and hopefully soon I will be doing an ebook / audiobook one, and I have a few other videos coming up soon that include some recommendations as well, so I'm getting quite excited for that. But until next time, I am gonna sign off, and I hope you're good. I hope you stay safe, and until next time, I will see you later. Bye.